Oh, hello everyone. Welcome. I'm Catfish Franklin and this is The Old Corner. And today's story is called The Cat Came Back. But before I get to that, I would like to thank everyone who's been subscribing and sharing and commenting, etc. And also those folks who have been donating at the link in the description below. I appreciate that very much. Alright then. The Cat Came Back. This song was suggested by a guy in the comments, Keith Kimmy, so thank you very much, Keith, appreciate that. I thought it was copyrighted, and I was right, it was, but it was in 1893, written by Harry S. Miller, one of the Tin Pan Alley guys from the late 1800s, early 1900s, a group of writers and songwriters, publishers, up in New York. So this is maybe his most enduring song. It's gone through many iterations, but this here is the original version. It's for piano, I think, so I've tried to adapt it to banjo here. We'll see if that works out, but this song is hilarious, and it's really kind of dark. So, dark humor, you know, and I don't know, it cracks me up. So we better get into it, I guess, here, and quit with my yammering. Old Mr. Johnson, he had trouble of his own. He had an old yeller cat that wouldn't leave its home. He tried everything he knew to keep the cat away, even give it to a preacher and he told it for to stay. But the cat came back, couldn't stay no longer, yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it wouldn't stay away. Did have some company one night out in the yard. Someone throwed a bootjack and they throwed it mighty hard. It caught the cat behind the ear, she thought it rather slight, when along come a brickbat and knocked her out of sight. But the cat came back, couldn't stay no longer, yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it couldn't stay away. Away across the ocean they did send the cat at last, vessel only out a day and making water fast. The people all began to pray, the boat began to toss, when another vessel come along and took the people off. But the cat came back, couldn't stay no longer, yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it couldn't stay away. On a telegraph wire, sparrow sitting in a bunch. A cat a-feeling hungry thought she'd like 'em for a lunch. Climbing softly up the pole, and when she reached the top, put her foot on electric wire which tied her in a knot. But the cat came back, couldn't stay no longer, yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it couldn't stay away. One time to give the cat away to man in a balloon, and told him for to give it to the man in the moon. The balloon, it busted sure, and everybody said it was 7 miles or more away. They picked the man up dead, but the cat came back, couldn't stay no longer, yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it couldn't stay away. The cat was a possessor of a family of its own. 7 little kids stay no longer. Yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it wouldn't stay away. The cat, it was a terror, and they thought it would be best to give it to a traveler who was headed out west. Train going round a curve and struck a broken rail. Not a blessed soul aboard the train has lived to tell the tale, but the cat came back. Couldn't stay no longer. Yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it wouldn't stay away. A man down on the corner sorta killed the cat on sight. He loaded up a musket full of nails and dynamite. He waited in the garden for the cat to come around. Half a dozen little pieces of the man is all they found, but the cat came back. Couldn't stay no longer. Yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it wouldn't stay away. Little boy took the cat away. He got $1 note, took it down river in a little open boat, tied a brick around its neck and a stone about a pound. Now they're grappling in the river for a little boy that's drowned, but the cat came back. Couldn't stay no longer. Yes, the cat came back. The very next day, oh, the cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat came back, for it wouldn't stay away. While the cat lay a-sleeping and a-resting one day, along come an organ grinder, he began to play. The cat looked around a while and kinda raised its head when he played ta-ra-ta-boom-ta-ra, and the cat dropped dead. But its ghost came back to tell you all about it. Yes, its ghost came back. Between you and I, yes, its ghost came back. Maybe you will doubt it, but its ghost came back, for to wish 'em all goodbye. Alright, that's The Cat Came Back. That song is really funny to me. But anyway, just another old classic, and I guess that's it for story time there. That was a pretty good one, so thank you everyone, and if you kind of dig what's going on around here, feel free to hit the YouTube buttons, donate at the link below, or now I've also started my own Patreon account where you can become my patron, and for a small monthly pledge you can get bonus things. So feel free to know that that is an option. So anyway, thank you everyone, and I'll see you next time.